Hey guys, Dan here again with Pain-Free You. It's too beautiful with the snow all over the trees not to shoot another video right now. So, from this video I want to talk about something I learned from a gentleman named Quasi. Quasi. He's got a YouTube channel. He talks a lot about the brain and productivity and performance and self-help and that kind of stuff. And he was teaching something about the reticular activating system. And I'll get to what that is in a minute. But I really want to kind of take what I've learned from him and share it in a way to go, share it. Here's the topic: from thought to conviction. We have thoughts all day long, every day. Sometimes they come in from the outside. You know, input comes into our brain from friends, family, media, the news, wherever, a book, a video online, whatever. So these thoughts enter in from the outside, and sometimes these thoughts are our own and we are projecting them outward. So thoughts, we have the ability to say, that's valid and I accept that, or I reject it, right? If somebody says, hey Dan, you're obese, and I look at it and go, nope, I'm under 200 pounds, I'm not obese. I might have a couple pounds to lose, but I'm not obese. So I can absolutely just go, I reject that. That doesn't apply to me. So thoughts coming in from the outside, we can reject. Well, guess what? We can reject thoughts that we internally come up with. So if we say to ourselves, hey Dan, you're obese, I can decide to reject that. Now here's where it gets interesting. When you take a thought and you add emotion to it, that's when it becomes a belief, right? So if somebody picks on you, on the playground in elementary school and says, Billy, you're a baby, you're a weakling, and you emotionally react to that, you can take on the belief that I'm a weakling. So thought plus emotion equals a belief. And then once we have this belief, well, first of all, beliefs are just decisions. It's a decision to accept that thought as reality, right? So, do you believe you can get better? Well, that is taking the thought that I can get better, adding the emotion of, yeah, yes I can, I'm excited about it, and that equals the belief that I can get better. Or the belief that I'm never going to get better is the thought that says, oh, this isn't going to work for me, plus the emotion of sadness and despair and anger, and that equals the belief that I'm not going to get better, right? See how that works? So a thought plus an emotion equals a belief. So what's really interesting is once we have a belief, that turns on this thing called the reticular activating system. It's kind of like a little, scanning device in our brain that says, all right, I've got this belief that I'm going to get better, right? And so this reticular activating system starts to notice, scanning, and like, oh wow, my pain's not as bad today. Huh, ding ding, there's confirmation of that belief that I can get better. It works the other way too. The reticular activating system can scan for evidence that a negative belief is true. So it looks for confirmation that what you believe is accurate. And so this reticular activating system is always on. The belief that the world is a dangerous place. We're scanning. It's a lot like that video on hypervigilance that I did the other day. We're constantly scanning. That's the reticular activating system going all day long looking for evidence that the world is a dangerous and scary place. But if you have the belief that the world is a safe place and you look around and say, look at this, it's beautiful, it's quiet, I'm listening to nature, look at the snow, it's gorgeous, I've got a house over there that's got heat on, a roof over my head. That forms the belief that things are good and that I'm safe. And the reticular activating system scans for evidence that I'm safe. So, the thought plus the emotion equals a belief, and then once you have a belief, the reticular activating system just looks to confirm it, whether it be a positive or negative concept. And when you get confirmation over and over and over, it turns into a conviction. Like you absolutely, it's rock solid, right? So this belief that I can get better took me a long time. And I was looking for both positive confirmation, and I found a lot of negative confirmation that I wasn't going to get better. And so how do we get to a conviction, like a firm, like I'm absolutely going to get better? Well, it's got to start with the thoughts. And it also starts with the ones that you decide to accept or reject. And so if you have a thought that simply says, this isn't going to work, you can choose to reject that thought, push it away and say, nope, 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 that's not true. Because I've seen enough success stories of other people with similar symptoms, or not even similar symptoms, but everybody else who's got this belief that this mind-body syndrome, this stress illness, this too much stress, have gotten better. I've seen it over and over and over again. So that really excites me. I see the potential, and therefore I'm going to take some action. But that thought that I can get better, plus the emotion of excitement for it, like, hey, this is my way out, turns into the belief. And guess what? When you have that belief, that reticular activating system starts to confirm or look for confirmation that that belief is true. And so maybe it's just waking up and going, I'm not as bad as I usually am. I'm slightly better. Or, hey, I noticed I didn't catastrophize as much yesterday. Confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. And the more you kind of reinforce this belief, the more you're getting this reticular activating system to look for evidence that you're on the right track. And with all that evidence and confirmation, it's going to become a conviction. And when you really get that level of confidence and conviction that this is absolutely happening, that's when the fear drops through the floor. It's no longer a big deal because you are seeing evidence everywhere. That's why one of the things I told you several months back was to create an evidence log. As this reticular activating system is scanning, and you find confirmation that, holy crap, this stuff is working. I'm feeling a little bit better emotionally, physically. I was able to feel some really deep, dark emotions, that some stuff came up that I didn't even realize was there. And then I soothed myself, and then I still had a decent day the rest of the day. There's confirmation that these emotions are actually safe. You get where I'm going with this. The various things that you are learning about TMS, mind-body syndrome, the ability to get better, these form a whole bunch of beliefs. And then we use this reticular activating system to look for confirmation. And the more we do that, the more conviction we can have that we're on the right track and that we're going to get better. So the reticular activating system is the scanning mechanism that will scan for confirmation that our beliefs, which come from our thoughts and emotions, are actually true or false. So if you believe the world is a dangerous place, you're going to scan for danger everywhere and you're going to find it. And I will tell you, that's probably not going to help you get better. So I want you to check your fear of danger with reality. Right? There's no bear in the woods. There's no mean animals in the woods. There's a bunch of squirrels and birds. I'm safe, right? Confirmation. Look around. Scan. Right? So the world can either be a super scary place if we believe it to be the case and we have that thought that says, oh no, I've got a social situation that's going to be dangerous and I might freak out, and if I get stressed out then I'm going to have more pain, right? That's the thought plus the emotion, which creates the belief that this is going to suck when I go out for the first time in a long time with my friends, and I'm going to be socially awkward and I'm going to have a pain flare up and this is just going to be awful. The reticular activating system is going to literally look for evidence of that. It's going to find the confirmation of that belief, and it's going to give you the conviction that, yep, I got to stay home because I can't deal with that. You see how that works against us if we accept the thought, which is the start of this whole thing, that says, oh no, this is going to be bad, and we put it with the emotion of fear, right? As opposed to kind of questioning the initial thought. That's the initial input that begins this whole cycle. So if the thought there says, oh no, this is going to be bad, stop. What if I actually have a really good time? And what if I get out of my head and literally just enjoy some company and not worry about what's going on and not worry about whether or not people judge me for not hanging out so much lately? And what if things turn out pretty well? So that thought, plus the emotion of, well, this could be fun and exciting, creates the reticular activating system that's now looking for evidence that it's going to be fun and exciting, which will then confirm the belief that this can be fun and exciting. And then you get this conviction that, yes, I am safe going out. I am safe interacting with people, with family, friends, coworkers, whatever, right? So what I'm encouraging you to do is notice, become acutely aware of the thoughts and the emotions that accompany those thoughts, and decide up front, before it goes all the way through this, confirmation and conviction process. Evaluate the thoughts and decide which ones support me or which ones hold me back. And you have the ability to choose which thoughts you accept and which thoughts you choose to combine with the emotions to form this belief. And again, I said it in the beginning of this video. A belief is nothing more than a decision to accept this fleeting thought as reality or rejecting it. So you can choose to believe what you want to believe. You can choose to believe things that will help you. You can choose your thoughts. You can choose which ones matter and which ones don't. Thereby you are choosing which emotions get tied to these thoughts, which forms your beliefs, which again is a decision. And then based on this belief, your reticular activating system is automatically going to keep on working, finding evidence to confirm that belief, which was triggered by the thought plus the emotion. And look, this is kind of how stuff works. And by choosing the thoughts and rejecting the ones that don't serve you, you can literally get this automatic scanning system to work for your benefit, to confirm the fact that you can do this, you can get better, you can smile more, you can be happier, you can get out of depression, you can do all this stuff. And those confirmations, the more you get, the more it becomes a conviction. So what I'm encouraging you to look at here is the fact that life and emotions and beliefs don't happen to us. They're all based on awareness of thoughts, decision as to which ones we choose to combine with the emotions and form as beliefs, right? We are choosing and deciding what we believe all the time. And then once we've decided on what we believe, the automatic reticular activating system confirming that belief and making it a firm conviction happens on its own. But you have the control of the input. You can control that thought process. You can control which thoughts you accept. And choose the ones that support you and lift you up, not the ones that beat you down and beat the crap out of you. Right? Because this process will work regardless of whether or not you have a positive input or a negative input. And again, people say, choose your thoughts. Well, I can't. My brain does this. I can't choose my thoughts. My brain just goes on this autopilot. Well, if you're giving up your power of choosing your thoughts, sorry to say, but the rest of this process is going to be really challenging for you. Understand that it's our brain. We can choose our thoughts. We can choose which ones to accept because they support us or which ones to reject. The ones that say, I'm such a loser, I'm so ugly, I can never do this, I can never do that. We can choose to not accept those. Those are just fleeting thoughts. They don't have to matter. We can reject that negative stuff and we can choose to say, well, what if I was actually stronger than I think? What if I'm on the right track and what if I could get better? Add those thoughts to the emotion of excitement and just feeling better and happier and more confident. And that'll set the belief and that'll set the reticular activating system in play to look for confirmation of that new belief that you're forming. And with multiple confirmations, it will become a conviction and lock it in. So, take ownership of your thoughts. Listen to that inner roommate, and if they are not supporting you, coach them. Shh. Hey, no, I want you to support me, not beat me up. Right? So anyway, what do you guys think of this reticular activating system? It's just a method that the brain uses to confirm the things that you believe. Those beliefs come from your thoughts plus emotion. So change the input. Change which thoughts you accept, and please be very quick to reject those thoughts that don't support you. Because not all thoughts are true, not all thoughts are real, not all thoughts are factual. They're just thoughts. So, what do you guys think? Let me know if this helped you, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks.